Hello, passengers, co-pilots, shotgun callers, blunderbuss bellowers, and midnight riders. Welcome to another episode of Full Moon Empty Road. As always, I'm Jeremy, and I'll be your driver tonight. Hope everybody had a great week, and I hope you're ready for another road trip. We're headed out west today, and we are going to take a look at the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona. So get in, buckle up, grab the rock salt, and let's ride. We have work to do. And while we're headed there, I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to everyone for checking out today's episode. Thank you for sticking around during the bit of a hiatus I've gone through between the last few uploads. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me at the following places: FMER Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, Full Moon Empty RD on Twitter, and Full Moon Empty Road on TikTok. And if you would like to reach out to me and drop a line, maybe suggest a location to cover, suggest a short story to narrate, tell me your own story of one of your own hauntings, just, you can drop me an email at fullmoonemptyroad@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast, listener support is on Spotify and Spotify for Podcasters. You can head over to Bonfire and pick up a shirt, tank top, hat, notebook, or a coffee mug. You can drop a tip in the Patreon or Good Pods tip jar, or you can buy me a coffee. All those links are in the About section on YouTube and in the description of today's video. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Well, it looks like we're here. Welcome to the Hotel Monte Vista. Let's check the place out. The Hotel Monte Vista, located in Flagstaff, Arizona, is a historic establishment with a storied past and reputation for paranormal activity. Built in the early 20th century, the hotel has witnessed a myriad of events and personalities contributing to its haunted reputation. Construction on the Hotel Monte Vista was in 1926 with funding raised by the local community to accommodate for the increasing number of visitors to Flagstaff. The hotel officially opened its doors on January 1st of 1927, so it rang in the new year by opening its doors. It was one of the premier establishments in northern Arizona, offering luxury accommodations and modern amenities for the time. During the Prohibition era, the hotel housed a popular speakeasy, and that attracted a diverse clientele. That included celebrities, politicians, and even notorious criminals. Which that makes sense. I mean, Prohibition era, if you're going to get your drink on, you're going to attract just about anybody who can find the speakeasy, The hotel's proximity to Route 66 and its opulent reputation attracted many Hollywood stars. Those stars included John Wayne, Humphrey Bogart, and Clark Gable. The hotel also hosted a variety of other notable figures, from musicians to politicians, adding to its cultural and historical significance. Now let's move into what you're all actually here for, right? Notable hauntings. So we're going to start out with room 305, and perhaps the most famous haunted location within the hotel is room 305. Where guests have reported seeing a rocking chair moving by itself. Some believe it's the spirit of an old woman who stayed in the room for many years. They also mention knocking sounds from the closet. I got news for you. If I'm ever staying in a hotel room and I hear knocking from the closet, I'm checking out immediately. I damn sure ain't opening that closet door. Guests have also reported cold spots, strange noises, and eerie feelings of being watched while staying in room 305. And after 305, we'll head next door to room 306. Now, guests staying in room 306 have often reported seeing a bellboy knocking on the door and announcing room service, only for no one to be there upon checking. That kind of makes me think of, and I've mentioned it numerous times on this podcast, but one of my favorite shows growing up was Are You Afraid of the Dark? If you remember it, the Nickelodeon anthology series that came on Snick, they actually rebooted it and did 3 seasons so far. We're in my household, we're hoping for a 4th because we've loved all 3 seasons. But in their 3rd season, it takes place in a hotel for the most part, and more of a resort. But either way, in one of the scenes, and it always cracks us up, and this is what this made me think of, they're watching an old video of someone who did an investigation at the hotel because so many people had gone missing there, one of which was a friend of his. And as he's, explaining all the people missing, there's a knock at the door, and one of the kids gets up and goes and checks the door, and there's just a phantom housekeeper at the door, just, Housekeeping. And right about the time he opens the door and sees her, the guy on the TV screen is like, and this was another one who went missing, and mentions the housekeeper that's at the door, and he's just like, nope. Shuts the door, and that cracked us up when we saw it the first time, and every time we've watched it since, because we have watched it a few different times, but that's what that made me think of. And John Wayne is said to have been one of the people who encountered the Phantom Bellboy. Another haunting that is mentioned there comes from the 1940s. 2 sex workers were murdered in the room. Their spirits are said to haunt the room, making guests, especially men, feel uncomfortable and even attempting to suffocate them. These spirits are also said to appear in the lounge by the pool room. And moving on to the actual lounge, in the 1970s, 3 men robbed a bank and decided, to celebrate at the hotel's bar. One of the robbers was shot and killed at the bar during another robbery and shootout, and it is believed that his spirit remains in the hotel, and that's particularly around the bar area. Guests have also reported feeling his presence and hearing a cheerful "good morning" greeting. Guests have also reported feeling a sudden chill, seeing shadowy figures, and also reports of dancing ghostly figures. Moving on from the lounge, we're going to move into the basement, and staff working in the basement have reported hearing the cries of a baby. The cries of a baby. The sound is described as so unsettling that they often refuse to search for its source and instead quickly leave the basement. Now, the origin of the ghostly baby remains a mystery. But I'm going to tell you this. If I'm in a basement and I hear a baby crying, and it's especially a place where there's not supposed to be a baby, if I do check it out, which, my last history and hauntings type episode was the water babies, and I was just like, you know what, if you hear a baby crying, leave it. But I will say this, if I do hear a child crying in some sort of basement, I'm not going to check it out alone. If I'm going to die by some demon, hell baby or something, someone's going to die with me, But, yeah. There is also a tall, shadowy figure seen in the hotel's basement. He's described as being around 6 feet tall and always in shadow form, and he's believed to be a ghost from the Prohibition era. He's known for his menacing presence, and that's particularly towards those who are not hotel staff, and kind of seems like he's playing the role of like a spectral security guard. And that's... Are he and the baby working together? I don't know where the basement actually is there, but say you go, say you go towards, I don't know, maybe the entrance to the basement's next to their bathrooms or something. You're walking by and you hear a baby cry, and you're like, that's weird. There's a baby down there. Let's check it out. People work here, but let's go check it out and see what's up with that, since no one else seems to be wondering about it. And you walk down there and turn a corner or something, and there's a 6-foot tall, shadowy dude just standing there, and I don't know, he takes your soul or whatever the hell he does, but that's a little unfair. It's like one's the lure and one's the trap. Terrible. Anyway, moving on from the basement, we're headed back to room 220. In the 1980s, a long-term guest known as the Meat Man. I wonder why he was called the Meat Man, staying in room 220. He was found dead in room 220, so the dead Meat Man. He was known for hanging... No, never mind, that's why. He was known for hanging raw meat from the chandelier, hence the name Meat Man. Guests and staff have since reported a strong smell of raw meat in the room. They also report cold hands touching them in their sleep and the TV turning on by itself. Now, again, maybe it's just me. And I don't know if anyone's actually staying after that happens, but if some cold hands are touching me in my sleep, and it's not Anna, because she always has cold hands. She's always cold for some reason. Always cold. She's like a living dead girl. But and it's someone that I don't see, or maybe not, or maybe someone who's not supposed to be there. I'm getting the hell out. TV turning on by itself, I could probably explain that away the first time. But now if you're, middle of the night, the TV turns on by itself, and you're like, whoops, I guess that was definitely an electrical surge that happened there. Let's cut this TV off and go back to sleep, and it cuts on again. I'm like, nope, going and sleeping in the car now. But that kind of covers the hauntings of the place. Room 305, room 306, room 220, the basement. The shadow figure in the basement, the Meat Man, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of these particular little haunted tales at the Hotel Monte Vista. And moving on, just for kind of research and investigations, there have been numerous paranormal investigation groups that have visited the Hotel Monte Vista to document and experience its supernatural occurrences. It's been featured on the Travel Channel's Most Terrifying Places, and it has also been investigated by the Ghost Adventures crew and other local investigations teams. The Freaky Foot Tours also includes the Hotel Monte Vista in their guided tour of Flagstaff. And these investigations have resulted in various forms of evidence, including EVPs, unexplained cold spots, and photographic anomalies. And the hotel staff and locals have accumulated a rich collection of ghost stories and paranormal experiences, further cementing the Hotel Monte Vista's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Arizona. Some of those were included today, some of those stories. The Hotel Monte Vista, just kind of to wrap all this up, it stands as a landmark of Flagstaff's history, rich in cultural significance and tales of the paranormal. Which, from what I've read, Arizona tends to be a pretty haunted state, so Flagstaff's on the list. Its haunted reputation draws tourists and paranormal enthusiasts from all over the world, eager to experience the mysterious and supernatural elements that have made the hotel famous. And whether one believes in ghosts or not, the Hotel Monte Vista offers a unique glimpse into the past, filled with stories of intrigue, celebrity, and the inexplicable. And that is it for the Hotel Monte Vista. Thank you for checking in today. I appreciate you taking this little trip with me. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, or top of the episode, if you would like to follow me on social media, You can find me at FMER Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, Full Moon Empty RD on Twitter, and Full Moon Empty Road on TikTok. If you have any locations you would like to suggest be covered, any short stories for the Stories from the Road segment, anything like that, or if you just want to reach out and say, hey, dude, really enjoy the podcast, and, just drop a kind of, hell, if you want to drop some feedback, you can do that. Which I guess technically the feedback can go here in the comments section on YouTube, but if you would like to reach out, you can get a hold of me at fullmoonemptyroad@gmail.com. And, it's getting warmer here. I've got some new merch released, as I'd already mentioned. Really comfortable short sleeve shirts, some tank tops, some bucket hats, tie-dye bucket hats. If you're a coffee drinker, I've got a second coffee mug released, and I like this one. You could actually customize it a little bit more, but you can go check that out. All of that's over at the Bonfire store. Those links are in the description of the episode. You can also find all the links on my social medias and on the YouTube page. But again, I want to say thank you. I'm glad to be doing this again. I have missed recording, but things have changed. Gone through some changes, had some, just different things. The biggest one was a job change. I decided to call it quits with the trucking industry and jumped into the aviation industry, and that has been a challenge. It has been a pleasant change, but a challenging change, and I'm kind of starting to get my feet under me again through everything, and hopefully can start bringing 1 to 2 videos, episodes, audio a week. One covering, haunted places, and we're still in the midst of the Wicker Saga. We're still in the midst of the Jesus, I did it again. We're still in the midst of the Wicker Saga on the Stories from the Road, so keep an eye out for that. Episode or part 8 should be here in the next couple weeks. So I guess that'll kind of derail any chance of 2 episodes a week. I've got to start working on my recording part, and I've got to find a couple of voice actors for the 2 other characters that are in this one. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for sticking around. Anybody who is still around, I really appreciate it. I kind of went on a 3-month hiatus or something 5. I can't remember when the last time I uploaded a story was, except for the one this past week. But we are going to wrap it up here. And again, thank you for accompanying me out to the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona. So let's go home.